Okay, we are live.
Bobby, are you able to speak on this one?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Bobby!
Hey.
Hey.
What's up, buddy?
Hey.
All right. Okay, so then I was just gonna start back with the older cards, so we can just because we don't have too many topics that were on the agenda for this meeting. So if we can go back to the other cards and try to finish them up so we can archive them.
Right.
There's one still from February 12th. There's really only two things on it. And actually, Bobby, since you're here, it was just we were going to ask if you wanted to come over to the social media board or not. I know you're mostly working in graphics, but if you want to, you can. The reason we were wondering if you wanted to be on there was just because you're doing the Pinterest. So you could either be on the board or be on the card because we have a card for the networks, the other networks, or sorry, the different networks, social media networks like Twitter and Pinterest and stuff like that. So, and I think we were just waiting to speak to you and speak to Joe. Bo, I don't know if you heard from Joe. He said he was
No.
going to get put on there, but I don't know.
Okay.
Not yet.
I'll be added to the board.
Okay. All right. So then Bo can add you. I'm gonna check that off. And sorry, Bo. Did you say you talked to Joe or not yet?
No, he hasn't messaged me. I'm waiting for him to.
Okay. Well, then if you can add Bobby on there, I'm just gonna carry Joe over as a homework because I did speak to him, but he said he was gonna message you at that time. But I don't know what happened then. So I'll just carry him over as a homework to the current card to talk to him again so we can get rid of this.
So, Bobby, should I mark you as the person who is to be contacted regarding? Oh, I guess you already are. The person who is to be contacted
Pinterest,
regarding Pinterest. Yeah. All right.
I'm gonna archive that one. Oh.
So, Jen, do you want to share your screen or?
So that's what I was saying before. The setup that I have in New Jersey right now, the tablet's not allowing me to split the screens to be able to do that. And the laptop that I have here, because I usually use Sasha's, because my laptop, it won't support Hangouts. So on this call, I'm not going to be able to share my screen.
You want me to share my screen then, so we can all look at the same places?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. I was just finishing up. Hold on one second. I was just finishing up the February 12th card because it only had those two things on it. And I'm just carrying this over here. I'm just making homework on our card for today.
Okay.
I'm going to join on two devices so I can see the chat in case any links get sent, because on one of my devices I can't see the chat.
Yeah, that's the problem I'm having right now.
So we added Bobby. Only Joe remains.
Yep, and I just added him to the homework, and I archived that meeting card because that one's all done. And,
Oh, okay.
The next card that we have is the April 22nd meeting.
Hmm?
So we can just go to that and see what's up there. Oh, okay. I'm gonna check off this first meeting agenda board about the social media team because everybody's here except Joe. So
That's
and
it.
I already
Okay.
carried that over.
What does Joe have to do to get added? Because he asked me to ask you, Joe, to add him, but then he needed to email you, and I don't know what happened after that.
Yeah, I spoke to him too. I told him, and he said he was gonna message him on Skype. So I don't know if I know he did want to get added on there. So I don't know if there was some kind of. I mean, I know Skype sometimes, if you switch devices, it doesn't always carry over all your messages, which is another inconvenient feature of Skype. So I don't know if maybe you didn't get it somehow, Bo, or whatever. But I thought he had already said that he wanted to be added there.
So, Bo, what does
No.
he have to do? Just email you or what?
No, we had to confirm that he signed an NDA, and he said that he signed some time ago
Oh,
and verify that. So he was going to verify that. So I
Oh,
told
yeah,
him to get back to me when he does, or if he wants to sign a new one, which is what I suggested.
yeah, he signed one a really, really long time ago. So it might not even have been collected properly on our end. So if he has his, I mean, that's okay, but might just want to have him sign another one if he doesn't have it. Okay. All right. So on the April 22nd one, let's just see here. The only thing outstanding on the meeting agenda part is
Establish content guidelines.
yeah.
What's that about?
Let's see here. We might be able to just carry this forward. Irina is going to be working on these documents, on this document, and helping better set up the other content guideline document that we have. Unless she merged them already. Oh, she merged them already. Okay. So she's going to help work on this in between since she can't make the meetings because of her new schedule. So I don't know if we want, we can work on it now. Otherwise, we can just put it as homework, and then what I can do in between this meeting and the next meeting, or what we can do, anybody that wants to help work on it, is just work with Irina, and then we can talk about it at the next meeting. After we
Well,
add
don't we
it.
have the Trello column for this, for the content that is to be posted?
The content to be posted list, the document is on there, but underneath it is only the ones that we have worked on enough to put on there. So there's some other ones that we're proposing on here.
Oh, I see.
Which we can talk about today some if we want. And then also what we're trying to do is just have a more detailed outline of the steps that are involved with that, that we can then put it onto Trello and stuff. So she was going to help work on that.
Okay.
But I mean, if we want to work on this now, we can. I don't have a problem with that. I think that actually some of the questions that are on the agenda for this meeting actually have to do with some of the things on here anyway, in regards to some of like the tech news and different things. So what we can do is just let's carry this forward anyway. Let's just carry this forward to the current one. And what I'll do is just I'm going to cut this. And I'm just going to delete that one altogether and pull it forward. since I'm gonna put it on current meeting.
So there is some more homework on that April 22nd.
Well, I have to go back and look because there was a meeting agenda and homework there. So yeah. Oh, actually, and I'm sorry. I didn't ask if anyone wants to take notes. I could, but if we're wanting to show it during the meeting, I won't be able to display my screen. So I don't know if anybody wants to take notes for this meeting.
I guess we said that actually the agenda would serve as notes.
Yeah, I mean, but we kind of take the notes in the agenda. But I guess it doesn't matter if that's shared. So probably fine. I can do that.
Hey,
Go back
Fabrico.
to-
Hey guys.
Okay.
Hey. Okay, so back to the 422 card. It looks like so the agenda's done. Okay, so on the homework, I'm gonna have to try to reach out to Dean. I was able to complete about 34% of the international pages in making sure that Roxanne and the other people that were going to be adminning were on them. But the rest of them, I don't have access to. So some of them, like I was able to see the admins on the pages in the groups, and some had just Sasha, some had just Sue, and then whatever. So I can speak to them and get them to add to those pages, and whatever else. I mean, I'm gonna have to coordinate with them if none of the people that need to be on it to update it are on it, and if the people adminning it are not responding to put us on there, then I don't know what will happen in that case. If we'll have to make a new page and merge them or something like that. So, but it's 34% there. So we had 0% last time. That's good. Oh, Bobby's here. So we needed to check who's the owner of Pinterest. Bobby, do you know who is the actual owner of the Pinterest page? We're just trying to make sure that Roxanne has ownership of all of the different social media sites and stuff like that.
The Pinterest page for the Venus Project I had started a couple years ago, if that's what you mean by owner.
Yeah. Is it like on a private email, or do you know if it's going to a Venus Project email, or?
It was a private email that I set up specifically for Pinterest. So it wasn't set up under a Venus Project email when I first started it. When I first started it, I was just testing out to see how Pinterest worked.
Yeah. Do you know if there's any way to add her on somehow after the fact, or so if anything happens that she would have access to?
Yeah. Well, there's a way to add contributors, and then also I can provide the passwords and so forth if needed. I haven't actually checked the private email in like a couple of years, so I have.
So then maybe if you could email her the passwords, like I think I have the Pinterest passwords unless you changed it since the last time you gave it to me.
No.
But okay, so then I can send it to her then. And I guess adding as contributors, then maybe is it email contributors?
I think it's Pinterest user contributors. So
I think what we would need is to make her email address, or not her email address, but an address that's the venusproject.com. to be the owner of the account.
Okay, I'll look into it as far as Pinterest, and then I guess I'll get back to one of you on how to update the email address or so.
Okay. Thanks, Bobby.
Oh, you're welcome.
Okay.
Adding your name to this one.
Yeah, I added it. So, all right, Roxanne's public figure page. Okay. I don't know. I don't remember if we talked to. Well, actually, I don't remember in the last meeting if that was talked about. I know we were kind of discussing about her Twitter pages, and then we were going to make the announcement, and we were deciding whether to just keep her Twitter page so that her handle isn't used by other people. But I don't know what we decided we were going to do with the public figure page. Does anybody know? Because I thought we were going to do it, and then I don't know. I think there was some going back and forth about that or not. I think we did decide for her Facebook page to just make the announcement and do that. I know that we were looking about merging her public figure page with the Venus Project Global, but from what it seems to be with Facebook, that we run the risk of if that merge isn't approved, they'll delete both pages. So it's not really worth the risk of losing the global page by trying to merge that. And there is a strong possibility that they won't, because the names are not similar, and they're pretty strict about that. So I don't think it's really worth it to try to merge it. So if we have come to a decision about the public, she's keeping her personal profile, obviously, because that's the only way that she can stay on and have ownership of the global page and international pages. But her public figure page, she doesn't use it. So if we're going to take it down, then I can just put this in social media post requests, and we can make it, and we can exit this off.
It sounds like she doesn't want to post on it. You might as well take it down.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut this out, and I'm going to put it in the request for social media page.
And Jen, I just checked. I am able to update the email address for the Pinterest account, so we can change that to a Venus Project one.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, the only thing is, you're not really using it as far as anything that has to do with notifications or anything like that, right?
I just use it to post on Pinterest. That's about it.
Yeah. Okay. Because I just want to make sure, because if even if we need even if we need to put like the social media address or something like that, so that you can have the password to go in it if there's any type of thing that you need to correct somehow or whatever, versus it being her private email, and then if there's something that you need to go in and correct. I don't know if that's an easier option, because at least that way it's a Venus Project email, So, and she has the passwords for it, so.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah.
So what are you suggesting, Jen? That we put the social media at the Venus Project?
Well, if we assign Roxanne's personal email to it, and then if Bobby needs to do something in regards to it that requires the email, then we would have to bother Roxanne, to
Right.
try and get a response. So if we put the social media email and Bobby can have the password to that. I don't know. I think you actually had the old one, but we did change it to a new one. So, but Bobby could have that if he needs to do anything that involves the email. And then that way it's a Venus Project email.
Okay. I haven't used the email within Pinterest in a long time, so I don't know if I would need the password. But
Okay.
if I do, I can always contact you or anybody else.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. 'Cause, yeah, that might be easier too than I'm not sure how many emails Pinterest sends or whatever instead of inundating her email, personal email any more than it already is. Okay.
So did you change the email? Can I check this off?
What is the email address for social media? And I'll change
It's
it right now.
social.media@thevenusproject.com.
Okay, I'm assuming there's going to be like some verification email or so after I update
Okay.
it.
And then, I can pull that up then. Give me 1 second just to make sure nothing interferes with you getting that.
Did it say it sent a verification email?
It didn't say anything. I'll try signing up and signing in onto Pinterest and see what it says.
Sure. Sorry, this laptop is really lagging.
So in the meantime, I guess we can continue with the other topics, like decide on scheduling. Is anyone working on that?
Not yet.
What software?
To
schedule content to be posted.
We were pretty decided on Hootsuite, and then it didn't come about. So there was a lot of cost involved with it if we were going to have any type of new users or additional users or anything like that. So that got a little bit stalled. And then we were basically just setting everything up in Facebook scheduling, which is free, and having everybody put it onto the social media sites from there, because it was pretty costly for Hootsuite. And some of the other software programs that we had looked at did not seem to look like they would fit our needs, or also were very costly. So that one is still kind of in the air. Nope, I didn't get any kind of notification from there. I do have unknown newsletters.
So can we just leave it like that for now? I mean, leave it for later.
We can carry that forward, I think, because there's only going to be these two things on this. These few things, we can just carry that forward to the new one. I mean, I don't even know if we will actually need to have a scheduling software, because, if we can put together enough of a schedule in Trello, and then we can give that access to people that are scheduling on the other networks to see the schedule in advance, then they can just put it on the networks and it'll be free. So that's why that, you know, that's also kind of in limbo because we might be able to get away with that. So I think, yeah, let's just carry it forward, I guess.
By carry it forward, what do you mean? Just leave it unchecked like that here?
I'll just I'll put it on the most recent. I'm gonna delete it off here and put it onto our most recent meeting card, and then we can address it a little more as we're going forward, working out the scheduling in Trello. I'm open to suggestions from anyone, but it looks like Hootsuite's going to run about probably $130 a month, and that's with like one user. And then it gets pretty costly after that. So if that is not the case, or there's a way around that or anything, or a better scheduling software that anybody has any ideas with, we can too, but we may not need to do that. You know, if we have, as I said, if we have the content laid out, you know, for example, the scheduled content for June, so that's all put into Facebook, scheduled out, but it's also in the card, so anyone can see that and put it onto Twitter, you know, or put it onto the international pages and things like that. If they're on that card, it's just not going to be manually doing it. But if it's, I don't know. I think that's
how many pages we have to manage and groups?
Of all the international pages?
I don't know. I think we have to.
We have the global Facebook page. We had 3 Twitters, but we're reducing it down to 1 Twitter. There's Instagram and Pinterest, but they have a different format, you know, where they can't put all of the posts that we post on there. Those are image based. And then there's at least, let's see, there's 76 international other international pages. So pages and groups. So and groups you can't automatically post to anyway. It doesn't allow for scheduling like it does for the pages. So
and how many pages Hootsuite allows you to manage?
It can increase. You can increase that based on how much you pay.
Well, let's see to cover all our needs.
Yeah, let me just pull it up again. But last time I looked at it was a while ago, because when I got into the different users and I got into all the pages, it was pretty costly.
Did the email change work out, Bobby?
It worked out. I was able to sign off and sign back into the updated email. Didn't say anything about verifying it or anything.
Okay.
Okay, so 10 social media profiles with 1 user was $15 a month. But it's only 10 social media profiles. 20 with 3 users is $99 a month, and then 50 social media profiles with 5 users is starting at $499 a month. I'll post the link to this under.
So $50, No, $99, 50 users, 50 page with 5 users.
$99 is 20 profiles. So like 20 different pages or profiles and 3 users.
That is not enough.
No, not at all. And then when you start to get into the other plans, the next jump is $499 a month. So it's like, huh. I'm gonna post this here since I carried it forward to this meeting. I'll post it under that so you guys can view it.
And why we do include the POCs in the social media Trello account so they also do their part and share the post in their webpage or Facebook or Twitter?
What are you talking about? Are you talking about the list and the social media board?
Adding the POCs in the social media.
Having the what do you mean by box? Do you mean like
Point of contact?
Can you show me what you're talking about on your screen?
Sorry?
Can you show me what you're talking about on your screen?
No, I am the phone right now.
Oh.
Can you guide me?
Are you talking about adapting the content for the other networks?
No, I am talking about adding the English POCs to the Trello account so they share in their account.
Oh yeah. That's that's what I was thinking might be the better option for us, is just to everyone that's in charge of posting content for each network or each international page can be on the cards where the content that's being scheduled for the month is, and then they can see it, and then they can just take it and do it. You know, like I said, it won't be automated, but it'll be free. And since they're already content already, this way it'll save them time. You know, they've been their own content, and since we're trying to get away from everybody sharing all different content and just sharing from the global page, now they've been slowly just translating it from the global page as it comes out. But if they're able to just go on our card and see it ahead of time, then they can just be putting it out with us that way, and it's free.
I don't understand the process. How will we doing this? Sorry.
How were we doing it?
The way, how will people interact to share?
Well, that process is being put into place because originally it was that all the international pages and people were just posting their own content. So now, since we're trying to get away with that from that and having people just post approved content, they're starting. And now remember, this has to go through 50 countries, and everybody's interaction is not all the same. So some are getting it done at a more rapid pace than others, but they're just translating from the global page as it comes out. So instead of them having to wait for it to come out to translate it, if now we can put a process into place where they're able to view our content that's going to be going out as we schedule it, then they have time, you know, to coordinate that. But that's a process that has to be, you know, put into place. It's been an ongoing process. But it would be free if we do that instead of scheduling it. Because either way, even if we have it going through a scheduling software, if it's going to be going out to the international pages, they're still going to have to see our content in advance, translate it, and then give it back to us for us to put in the scheduling software to have it all go out at the same time, which, you know, that's a process to do over 50 countries right now. Okay, so back to the April 22nd card. I'm gonna cut this one out about the stuff with Dean and just carry that forward. Also, as a homework. Like I said, I did 34%, but I can't go any further. That's help now.
Okay, so the last remaining thing is an item for me.
Yeah.
Seeing how we could share the newsletter. And I was talking briefly with Roxanne about it, and she had the idea that we could use portions of the newsletter to share on social media, but just portions of the newsletter, and at the bottom say, this is a snippet from our monthly newsletter. If you want to receive them, sign up here.
So, in other words, like to cut a portion of it, like a power or something like that.
Like a teaser?
Yeah, like a teaser.
Yeah, we could do something like that. Definitely.
Okay, so when the new newsletter comes out and I'm posting the weekly join the newsletter on the Global, what I could do is add a snippet to that post every week, yeah? Does that sound like what I should do?
Well, I'm not sure what you mean by weekly.
Every week I post on the Global to invite people to join the newsletter.
Oh, right.
And so I could put a snippet of the newsletter, a little tease on that weekly post. Is that what you're wanting me to do?
Would work. I think that would work. Yeah.
I know we discussed this before, but I'm sorry, I forget what the answer was to it. The newsletters are or are not being archived on the website currently.
Currently, they're not.
Okay, so we can't do a link right to the newsletter. We can only do the sign up, right?
Right.
So
the idea would be.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
The text or any image or video that's on the newsletter, like a teaser, and below the teaser, just say, this is a snippet, and here's the link to subscribe.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, and that actually is one of the things from the content outline that we were, working on improving anyway. Oh yeah, is that on your screen, Liza?
No.
Oh, it's on both screens. Okay. Yeah, that was one of the things on the content guideline that we were working on anyway.
So we could add here something like weekly announcement. So the way we have it now is attach the logo. It would be a teaser, right?
Attach a teaser, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, the teaser might not attach in the image that displays, because the if we're doing a clip of the paragraph, it's going to have to go in the status, and then we would, put something about subscribing to the newsletter, the link to subscribe to the newsletter, and then it's going to, whenever we put that link to subscribe to the newsletter, it doesn't attach an image. For whatever reason, it's not programmed into the website to display an image.
It
gives
does attach the image, a picture of the Venus Project banner on. It attaches.
Oh,
Yeah.
I wasn't doing that at all before.
I don't know. It all of a sudden started attaching the banner that's on the website.
Oh, maybe that changed, because before it was appearing with just a blank.
Yeah,
There was no image displaying at all.
I don't know why that happened, but all of a sudden it started doing it. So I stopped attaching the V logo.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's why we were attaching the V before, because it was attaching at all. But if we're putting that paragraph teaser, we can also put, like Bo was saying, an image from the current newsletter or a video from the. Oh no, we can't put video.
Yeah, but I can drop in an image.
Not an image.
Yeah.
If
Just
if we
a
want
photograph.
to change it up so it's not always the same image and it loses its impact or anything.
Yeah.
There's a couple options.
Yeah.
Or if there's a video link that's in that newsletter, but then that would be the link that they might click opposed to. No, so it would still go to the website, but it just wouldn't take them right to the subscribe button if we put
It'll take them to the article rather than the newsletter sign up.
Well, there is no spot for the article. That's not archived in the website currently. The
articles are there though. They're just done. They're just put under the news category.
Yeah.
But they are. Oh yeah, that's what. Oh okay. So they are being stored there.
Yeah, just not
Or is it
not
only,
like in a complete newsletter format page.
Right.
It would be nice if there was a newsletter page.
Right. So okay. So there's no real direct link specifically to that newsletter. It only goes to news section.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
All mixed.
Okay.
A mixed bunch. Yeah.
But that's still okay.
What about sharing like the link to sign up along with the snippet of what was the snippet of an article from the newsletter?
Yeah, that's what I thought we were talking about originally doing. So they take them right to how they can sign up, but it won't bring to where they can read the rest of it if we do it that way.
Well, I can put two links. I can put sign up to the newsletter here and read the rest of the article here.
Okay, yeah, and then have the sign up one as the one that displays.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that'd probably be the best thing then.
So, for example, on the upcoming newsletter, a bunch of text, which first is the open letter from Roxanne, which already has been shared around. So I guess we wouldn't want to share that again. But below that, there's a new with further text from her. So I guess this new content coming below, info or parts of it or whatever can be shared around.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Well, if we can break it into a couple different posts, the more that we can break it into, the more frequently we can make posts in regards to signing up. Ideally, it would be nice to have as much promotion to get people to the newsletter as we can. So, if we can make a couple posts out of it, that would be great.
Does anybody know off the top of their head how many are signed up? How many people are signed up for the newsletter?
About 40,000.
It's 40 now? Yeah, I thought it was like around 30. Yeah.
That's good. That's very good.
Yeah.
And we have what? Something around 300,000 followers on Facebook.
Yep. I mean, the problem with Facebook is, and it was funny because just yesterday, one of the supporters brought it up to me, and he was like, "How come the page doesn't reflect the likes that you get?" And I was like, "I don't know. It's been doing that for years. I mean, I even sent Facebook a thing about it, but I didn't get anything back about it. But for about every 10,000 likes that it tells us that we get, it reflects it in our general number about 1,000. So we have a lot more people that have come to the page and liked it than is actually shown, which is, and I don't know what to do about it. And somebody just brought it up yesterday, and it wasn't even a volunteer, but it shows how many people liked it that week. And he's just like, why? And I'm like, it's been an ongoing, I mean,
that's weird.
Probably because we're trying to change the entire system. I don't know. But yeah, it's odd. I mean, it never matches up. So yeah. But so I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to do about it.
That's disconcerting.
Yeah, but trying to change the entire operating system of the planet. So maybe the operating system doesn't like it. I don't know. I don't know. Every once in a while, I see it match up. Rare.
So on the topic of the sharing the newsletter teasers, would that work? Do you?
So when I receive the next newsletter, I'll begin. I'll start sharing snippets, and I'll have 2 links on that post. One to sign up for the newsletter and one to finish the article.
Yeah.
Sounds good. And if it's not an article, like in this case, I think it's not an article, then just the subscribe link.
Okay.
I mean, it's going to vary, I guess, but whatever works.
Yeah, I'll just go with the flow. Whatever, if there's something in the newsletter appropriate to share each week, then I will. If not, I'll just put the link for an invitation to sign up.
Yeah, and I mean, all of the content, suggestions that we're proposing and things like that are always open to be improved on too. So, if we going along come up with some more ideas, then we just improve them. It doesn't have to be okay, that's all we're doing for the newsletter, now and forever. So.
Right.
Okay, so I'll check that off then, because we have it on the content on Trello, and we have it on that Google document that we're trying to fully incorporate over to Trello. So if we have more ideas about it, then we just expand it. So the April 22nd one is done. So I'll archive that one. And the next one is May 26th. That was the last meeting.
I guess this is done, May 26th.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing.
That is done. Yep. Okay, so we'll archive that one. And then we are actually up to this meeting.
May 12th.
Oh yeah. Oh, see, I got ahead of myself. You're right. Right, out of order. Okay. Yeah, the metric.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're going to be able to establish the metrics until we have the whole process complete, exactly how we want to have everything going out. I mean, we can do simple metric testing by looking at the insights of certain times and certain posts, but I think until we really finish developing the whole content outline, it might be hard to set that up. I don't know.
Well, Instagram is between 9 and 3. It's the best time to post, but it also says, the metrics also say our biggest demographic is England. So their time is different than that. So I get confused about, I go back and forth. I post for England and then I post for US. I go back and forth.
Each of the social media networks has their own form of, insights on reach and things. And then each page, has their own form of reach. And like you said, depending on the time zones and things like that, it had a different one.
Yeah.
But we, and we can, there's Google Analytics for things. We can test different types of content in, different time zones and see if, we post a book in a different time zone, does it get more orders than other ones and this and that and that. But again, I think that's hard to do before we have all the content that we want going out established, and then it's going for a while and we're measuring it and then switch it up and then measure it again. And then we would also have to coordinate that with the international pages to see their analytics, which is fine, because if we do get through the process of having them all have, Roxanne and me and Sasha and Sue and things like that, one person will be able to go in and see all the international page analytics too. But I mean, that's a process.
Yeah.
That's not like other processes have to be put into place and communication set up properly, and then everything be posting the content the same manner to be able to really have an accurate metric on that. And as far as I could be wrong. I mean, unless somebody has some magic way to examine all the metrics on over 50 different sites basically at once. I'm open to it. I don't know. I think this was Stan's suggestion. So unless I'm wrong, unless he has some specific ideas of how he wants to establish those metrics, I don't see how we can do that without putting more processes into place.
Yeah, it seems like it would require some expertise, and maybe somebody needs to learn about that, how to proceed.
I mean, without bringing in. Go ahead.
The way I think it could be done is to measure only our website, like visitors on our website coming from social media. And that would be the centralized place where we measure what's happening from all the networks combined.
Does the back end of the website allow you to see exactly where all the visitors are coming from? Like if they're coming from which social media site or which page on which social media site, or?
Yes.
Then that would be
about that. Yeah.
Probably the best way. Yeah.
So let me actually think a little bit more about this, how we can exactly do and present something on the next meeting that we can
Okay, so
actually
then
use.
I'm gonna cut this from this card and put it on the homework for the recent one and just put your name next
Yeah.
to it. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that's great if it has that capability already. That's wonderful. Because otherwise, it would be a big coordination process. Okay.
So ask for more moderation from POCs.
Yeah. This is also a process, and I mean, we can't really ask, they're doing a lot. So we can't really ask them for more moderation help until we give them a way to cut down on what they're doing. So this process of getting all of us as admins on the pages is also intertwined with some other processes that are going on activism side and social media side. So by making sure that we're all on there, it's making sure that we're all on there and have access to it, but also we're going through and really being able to get some good feedback on who's really being active with maintaining the pages and responding and things like that. And then we're also trying to set up the scheduling since we're, working on, we had to go through, they all had to go through that big thing with changing everything over to TVP support and the disclaimers and all these different things. And now it's going through and making sure all of these admins are on all these pages, all these groups. And then also making sure that the content that is going onto the pages now on all these pages, really groups is not really posting content, so it's just the pages and networks. But the international pages have Twitters and they have Google Pluses and they have all these things too. So, so making sure that it's only coming from the global pages all across the board, which is going to save them time that they were spending on finding content. Because everybody was trying to find relevant content on their own. And that was time consuming, and then posting on their own, and that is time consuming. So if they're only taking it from the global pages now, and then we have it on a schedule, and then they can see that, and they can also at least, if we're not automating it, translate it and put it on a schedule. That saves time for them for searching for content, and it saves time for them on manually posting the content. So with that, hopefully we can ask some of the more active people to help with moderating things, comments and messages and things on all the networks. Even if they donate an hour a week, which I'm sure they spend an hour a week on searching and doing manual things, and maybe they can help us to moderate as we're growing. So that's a little bit of a process that's we've been working on, because ideally, for moderation, we're only going to be able to use active team members that are knowledgeable, global team members or activism members, because bringing on new people, they most likely will not have enough knowledge to moderate yet. So that would be the ideal thing if they could help do that. And this is, a side note too, but this is actually something for activism and for graphics. Like I noticed with the cover photos and things like that, seems like a simple thing, but we want to have all the cover photos on all the pages and the groups and the networks and things like that to be coordinated when we make changes to them. But when we post something that's a graphic that also has a quote in it, then this quote has to be translated across like 50 countries. And it doesn't always work that way. Whereas if we have just an image, say, of like some of the renderings or something like that, without the quote, and we just have the rendering with the logo and the tagline and website, anybody that's an admin, one of us, 5 admins that are going to wind up being on all the pages, can just go through and put these on every single page and every single network and every single, group and things like that, without having to wait and follow up and, oh, did Turkey translate it? And, oh, did this translate it? It's just one person can go through and do it. And, these different things can save a lot of time of the activism admins having to chase down and do a checklist every time we change a cover, for each page, and then each group, and then each of their networks for each, country, and this and that and that. You just kind of bang it out. So that's something I was trying to bring up too, because it's a lot for them, to track doing things like that. And why it might seem, like it's more impactful to have a quote, and I understand that. But if we, there's a lot of really well done renderings from the Choices Ours and from when Jeff was staying there and stuff, that show our ideas for the tech and things like that can grab people's attention. And, the quotes and things like that can be done on the images. So if we, are working on these other processes and get them through, I think that we should be able to ask them for some help if we're alleviating their time. And I've been talking to Sasha and Sue about this for a while now, so hopefully that'll be some stuff we can do. But
so what about now?
I guess that's something that I should carry forward. I'll carry it forward to the homework for now, and I'll try and set up a meeting with them, with the admins there, and see if we can move forward with some of this. Since some of the other processes are starting to move forward, we should be able to get closer to this. So I'll carry that forward as homework for me. And I'll cut this out.
So the next one, who maybe it would be better if we put our names behind any agenda items so we know who brought each one.
Yeah, okay, we can do that.
Examining process for scheduling content. Who put that one? Do we know?
Hold on, let me just see. Sorry, because I switched out of the board. Design process for I'm going to. We already carried that forward. So this was just a duplicate. So I'm just going to take that off. I'll just put that it was carried forward.
Okay.
So, duplicate of another one. Okay. Removing the social media Skype group. I thought we kind of came to a conclusion on it, on removing all of them. And then I know that there was some interest in keeping the moderation group because it seemed to be more of a way to get an easy response for emails and things like that. So, which is fine. I still think that if someone is posting something in the group, then maybe what we could do is if the question's being posted in the moderation group, we could also post that question on the card in Trello. And then when we get an answer in the moderation group, we can post that answer to the question in Trello also. Because it should only take a few more minutes, 2 minutes to make one more post and one more post. And we could leave it there to be edited, to be added to the template document for later. But at least that way we don't lose the question and the answer if we're keeping that group open. If that makes sense. I'm sorry, I haven't slept yet. So I'm like in my head, the things I'm saying make sense. I'm not sure when it comes out of my mouth if it is.
It's so funny. So you're saying that to have the conversation in Skype, but to leave the original question and the final answer in Trello.
Yeah, because what we were proposing from the moderation group, not not even talking about the main group and the content group, but just moderation here, is instead of having the Skype group, when a question came in a message or a comment or something that the moderator had a question about, we were going to post it, and then the response would go on the Trello card, and then it would be moved to the template responses so that we're, well, edited and then moved to the template response document so that we're constantly growing the list of template answers. And therefore helping to make it easier and easier to have more moderators with us because we have this growing list of responses. But one of the concerns was that the moderators wouldn't be able to get answers enough in doing it in Trello right now anyway, as they would in Skype.
Yeah.
Which is a very valid point. Just which is about that instead of completely not doing it in Trello, though, when the question's posted to be answered, and also go on the Trello card like we proposed, and then when the answer's received in Skype, that answer can go on the Trello card. Now, the answer in Skype may not be completely grammatically perfect or whatever. The card, the editors can take a look at it and tidy it up a bit, and then it can go on that document. And then that way it's answered quickly in Skype, and also we have a history of it we can use. Sure.
So who is responsible for putting it into the template and the Trello? Person who gave the answer or the person who asked the question?
The template could be anybody could put it on the template after edited, but the moderator that's asking the question is responsible for and then putting the answer in their Trello card. It really will only take 1 more minute of their time to put the question there and put the question on Trello and then put the answer, when the answer comes also. And then as far as transferring them over to the template, from the card, that could be done by anybody after it's edited and then it can be archived.
So
even if that...
Before it gets archived, the person who's archiving it would make sure it's on the template.
Yeah. And that it's edited, and then on it, it shouldn't go into the template at that point until it's edited. But yeah, we wouldn't want to archive it.
Who approves that? Who approves that edit?
Well, right now we have. Ray and Stone, whenever they can help, but they haven't been too active in responding to the tags on the social media board. But now Sheena's back helping us with editing in there, and Julie is in there helping edit. So that's who we have.
So I guess we have to set up a procedure for getting additional additional questions and answers to the template.
Yeah, that would be good. So that's for the moderation group, but that still leaves the main social media group, which I don't know why it's there. There's really nothing going on there except for like an announcement like about the meetings. And if, if everybody from social media is on Trello now and the announcements, they still go in the other groups, like I don't know why it's there. It's pretty much just pointless. And I mean, content creation, I don't know, if we wanted to, I don't want to use Skype at all anymore, but I know that it's a process to transition over to things. But if content creation, I don't see why we need the content creation group, because content creation is being done in graphics and things are being put onto the webpage and whatever. And then we have our request for social media posts or our content to be scheduled, and then it's scheduled. So I don't really know why we need the content creation group on Skype.
Well,
but I'm not sure.
I don't know why we're even we already decided that we're only maintaining the one Skype page, right? The moderation page.
Yeah, I mean, we had decided that none of them were being kept, and then the moderation one came up, which is a valid point, and I'm just not sure if it spilled over into content creation. So I just wanted to make sure, and I wanted to talk about it at the meeting before I actually went through with deleting them, the other two.
Yeah, I think it's good to just keep the one active Skype.
Okay, then I am more than happy to do that.
Yeah, what was the closing date? I can't remember what it was.
5th, but then that was, I was getting ready to close them, and that's what came up with moderation, and then meeting.
Okay, yeah, I would just make one more announcement that you'll be closing and what people can do to join Trello to make sure they keep in touch.
Yeah. Okay, so we have removed moderation groups, so I'm just going to take that off because we decided not to.
Yeah.
So all right, so, and then I'll just put I'll just change this a little bit. Everybody's on Trello though, except Joe. But a reminder's still not a bad idea. And so I'll carry these two forward because this is going to be, that can be my homework.
So then we're done with that card.
Yeah, I'm just gonna move. I'll move these two forward, and then I'll archive it if you want to go start on that other card.
Okay. Well, that was some clearing of backlog.
Yeah. That was good.
Is on today's card, is that Liza? Liza, is that you, the first topic?
Yeah, we talked about the next two topics. I'm just going to combine them in this discussion. We talked about them last time, and it was my homework to discuss it with Roxanne. And I have tried to Skype and tried through email also, and she hasn't responded yet. So we're just going to have to carry this discussion to the next meeting about creating a procedure of who goes ahead and approves posts for the global page. I think that we have to have 3 people or so designated so that we're a little bit more efficient with getting things approved for the page. And then also the second one is discussing having people bring in outside content with TVP commentary on it, so that we
so
can.
you're meaning like, is that like tech news, relevant tech news and things like that we were talking about?
Well, it's not really so much related to the tech news, but it could also be that it could be tech news, or it could just be any current event happening in the news that we put our commentary on, so that we can be interactive in the real world right now, instead of just posting, our own past content. We need to be relevant with the times.
Yeah.
So anyway, I've written an email to Roxanne to discuss it, and who would be good for creating the TVP commentary. What her recommendations are.
I'm pretty sure that we have some. We started to do this a while ago on a document, but we didn't have enough people at the time in the social media group with what we're doing and whatever to facilitate that. But we started to do an outline of outside content that would be relevant, that would tie into what we talk about and what we could do. And we had some examples of it. So I can look through and see if that document is still there, and we can see, what of it is useful.
Okay.
And
my suggestion to Roxanne was that we have a weekly. We start just with once a week, where we post a current event with TVP commentary, and that we have 3 or 4 people that rotate that. So they would only have to do one a month,
Mm-hmm.
and those people would find their own content, and it would go through whatever protocol or procedure we have for approving it, and then along with their commentary, so that they can get some interaction of ideas from people if they need to.
Clifton might be really good for that. He was always posting a whole lot of relevant stuff, and tying it in.
Yeah. And then there could be a Trello card that for people to suggest commentary content to the people that are doing it, and so anyway, that's
I mean, if we have a process laid out for what we're looking for, then anybody would be able to find what's relevant, for the most part, and then especially if it's looked over. The thing with that too, though, is it's sort of like, and I think we had talked about it a little before, it's sort of a twofold process, because it isn't just looking for the relevant, news or tech or whatever, trying to come up. And I think we had this on our content list under the tech. I don't think on the new content list we didn't have about the current news, but we did on the old one. But is trying to find something, video or something also that we can tie in with it directly, or except for the book or something like that, but so that we're not just posting somebody else's page or link or something like that and directing them away, but having something of our own, showing how we've been referencing this for 80 years,
Right. Or just referring them to a chapter and page in the book, whatever, Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that's a very
Yeah, yeah,
very
anything
good
like that.
idea. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we had, like I said, I think we had talked about this anyway. For the it is relevant, you know, to anything, whether it's just current news or whatever. But I think that we started talking about it, and then we started talking about this, and then we were like, that's a process, and I think we didn't go too much further with that.
Yeah, it is. That's why I feel like we should have 4 people designated to it, because if it's just like left open ended like that, then it just never gets done. So
Yeah.
so there should be like somebody that once a week, it's like it's their focus to get that figured out.
As far as the linking the content and things like that, I mean, just off the top of my head, I know there's a lot of people that would be good at, but I think Joe might actually be interested in helping with that project. We could ask him because he has worked a lot with all of the lectures, the old lectures that Jack and Roxanne used to do all the time with the POCs and all those seminars and hangouts and things like that. And he, on his content that he does when he's contributing to stuff, he's always referencing the different lectures, because he actually went through and transcribed like years and years of these seminars that they used to do. So he has it broken down from all these years of seminars by what the discussion topics were throughout each one of them.
Well,
An endless amount of time.
That's an amazing resource. So even if he's not one of the people that are that's writing the commentary, he could still be, if he doesn't want to take on that type of job, he could still be a resource for whoever's writing it to get the appropriate links to coincide with their commentary.
Yeah, and he also put together, I don't know, I don't know if I sent it to you, Bo, or if just in my head I wanted to send it to you. He actually put together a very large list too of free education, because I know we had at one of the meetings discussed the concept of maybe having to people for free education, and he's put together a really big list of it, and a lot of it's accredited too, from some pretty good places. So I know we did briefly discuss possibly having some kind of free educational links on the website and things like that. So I don't know, did I send you that document?
I think so.
Oh, okay. Good. Then it wasn't just in my head. Yeah. So, but what he did with the seminars is, it was a tremendous undertaking. So, yeah, like I said, like you said, I mean, even if he wasn't interested maybe in developing the content, we can, speak to him about having references. He has all that. There's just shit tons of information that he did.
For sure, whoever does the commentary should have a list of people to access to support their efforts.
Yeah. So maybe just to get it started. I mean, it probably won't be something that we can complete right away, because, like I said, we have to talk to Roxanne and work out a process. But I think we could at least talk to Joe about it. And like, hey, this is what we're looking to get into, and do transcribed years of seminars.
Yeah, I'll do that.
And categorize them. I mean, he not only transcribed them, categorized it by content. I mean, it was a massive undertaking.
Yeah, I'll put it on my homework to speak to him as well.
Okay. Oh, rotating the time slots of the scheduled posts. I mean, that was a little bit about what we were talking about already with the metrics, but I don't think we're metrics. You were just proposing it for time.
No. Well, I mean, I think it's. Is my volume on? Yeah, I think it's I think it's good to change out the time slots, like so that we're not posting the book reviews at the same time the whole year. So like I think it's a good idea to quarterly just rotate the time slots so that different people are seeing different posts, because you know people have their habits of going online at certain times, and that way they'll see other content. Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know about quarterly. I mean, it might be better to just, you know, throughout the week, break it up, swap it.
Well, as a scheduler, it would be nice if it were, you know, if it were not every week. That would be because you know you get in this rhythm of understanding how you do your scheduling and stuff. So it would be nice if you could have a little time with that before it gets switched up.
Well, since you and Shrey are working on scheduling that Facebook schedule the most right now, maybe you guys could talk a little bit together and see what you think might be easiest for you guys for now.
Yeah, well, I'd like to start with quarterly. If that's not sufficient, then we can do it monthly maybe. But
and Jonathan did say that he's going to be coming back. Bo and I were under the impression that it was for this week, but I thinking back, I mean, he could have just meant he's going to be coming to the next one because he just finished up his school, so he might also be able to help. With scheduling too, because that's what he was doing that, helping do that before. So
yeah, great.
Yeah. Also, if you or Shrey wants to reach out to him or whatever, he had just posted right on the meeting card that he was going to be coming back. So I assumed it was for this one, but I guess
I thought I was gonna see him this one too.
Yeah, it might have just been because it was the most recent card. So he was just saying to let us know that his school was done and stuff.
Right.
And he has been watching the past Hangouts too, so he probably thought we were closing the Skypes.
Right.
Okay. So.
So is this done about rotating time slots?
Yes. So we agree, and I'll proceed with implementing that.
So do you want to check that off, or do you want to move that as that you need to talk to Shrey about it, or I don't know?
I don't think it's necessary. I mean, Shrey will I think that we'll just come up with the date between us that we do the rotation. I don't think it's necessary to discuss it.
If you come up with it, and determine what you guys are going to do for now, we can put it onto the content document at least.
Yes,
just so it's like a little bit of a process, for going, and it can be modified later or whatever, but at least that way we're slapping it.
Totally. I'll just put the instruction on the card there.
Okay.
And if we change it, we change it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we'll check that one off then. Right, back to Roxanne's Twitter. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that with Roxanne's Twitter, I think it's best to leave it and just post, like I think it would be good if we just posted the newsletter on there once a month, and that would be enough to keep her Twitter active to not have problems with the administration of Twitter.
And then maybe do you know do they say an actual time that if it's inactive for a certain amount of time they close it, or do they just say if it's inactive like for a while?
Yeah, they don't give you definite timelines.
Yeah, I figure. Yeah, so maybe we can put, you know, too, if we're just sharing the newsletter once a month, you know, or whenever we're sharing the newsletter, just a little reminder, you know, for, you know, if they want to see more content, to follow us on the main Twitter.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, Roxanne didn't want someone to post from her account and from Jacques' account.
Yeah. So it just is to be approved by Roxanne whether she wants to do that or not. But I think it's the best option, but it's up to her.
Because the problem is that if we close it all the way, that her handle, because we have the Rox Meadows handle for Twitter, and so if we close it, somebody else is going to be able to grab that handle, and it could be, you know, someone that's trying to pretend to be her or something like that, and then we have to go through a thing of taking it down and whatever. Like Fresco tweets, I mean, whatever, you know, but that's her actual name. So what? Just that we just post the newsletter once in a while just to keep it active, but redirecting everybody to the main page instead of closing it all the way, but not putting out personal tweets as her or anything like this or whatever. Just, hey, sign up for the newsletter.
Yeah. So that's up to her as to whether she wants to do that or not. So which one of us is going to talk? I think it's better if you talk to her, Jen, because I don't have a lot of contact.
Yeah. I'll talk to her. So I'll put me next to that one. Right now.
And then find out if she wants to post that once a month herself or if she wants somebody else to do it. I'm happy to do it if she wants someone else to do it.
Okay.
And then when you let me know her answer, then I'll proceed. If she doesn't want to keep it, then I'll proceed with the closing down process of both those Twitters, excess Twitters.
Okay. So it's about creating some more redundancy around who is able to create these Google Hangouts for the meetings, because we do want them to be created from Future by Design, our Future by Design account. But so far, I think it's only me who creates them because I have such an account. And what I was thinking was that we could create accounts for 2 or 3 more people, so that it's not just me who is creating these Hangouts, but it could be any of a number of people. That way, you know, you guys don't depend on me if I'm not around. Mm-hmm. So would anyone like to have such an account created for them so they can create Hangouts and so on?
Sorry, this heating and air thing. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, you can make one for me, Bo. That's no problem.
You could put me on as a backup, but it's not really my. This is not my strength.
Yeah, I've made them for my medical spot when we record our meetings. So. Yeah.
Okay. So I will also describe how to make a Hangout, so that you know, it's pretty easy. You just need the right link. The difficult part is to get the right link. But anyways, I'll put this as my homework.
I'm sorry. I just I have this heating and air thing. I'm sorry. I wasn't. I didn't hear that. What did you say? What did you say, Bob?
I was just saying that I will create the account for you and Liza, and I will also create an explanation of how you go about creating a Hangout.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, and then that way, if anybody that wasn't at the meeting wanted to, or in the future. Yeah.
So I guess we have the recommended book images topic now.
Yeah, I think that's the last one because the rest is all the homework.
So I obtained better images of the recommended books, and I had put them on Pinterest a while back. I put the link there if you're able to access it. And I also added, it's not on the recommended book, but I also added the Rings of Venus image there in case you guys want to share it in the future. But I think that the images that you guys are using are archived on Facebook, as it looks like that's how it was for a while. But some of the images aren't clear when I look at the global Facebook page. So I guess whoever schedules can use those improved images and books. I think it'll make the page better. But I guess
we can swap them out in the album. That's no problem.
And
they are kind of pixelated, some of them.
Okay.
Bo, didn't you discuss this with Shrey last week, a couple weeks ago?
Well, what I discussed with him was that the list with books was not updated, and there were some books there that are not actually on the website list, and so I just put all the links here so he can share from here. This is the list, the current list with all the recommended books.
Okay, and so the images that are with this link are not the good images that Bobby's talking about?
Actually, I think I've obtained the better images from those links because it directs, I believe those links direct to the Amazon. And I took the larger file of the images directly from Amazon, which are better quality than the ones archived on Facebook.
So then that's what he should be using now, right? So I think that problem is corrected, I think.
Well, I'm referring to when the posts are scheduled on Facebook, the recommended books that are scheduled, some of them are pixelated and have a poorer quality than the ones that I saved and put onto Pinterest.
Yeah, so we can just download the ones from Pinterest and put them on the Facebook album. Or share it from Pinterest. I mean, either one.
Or I was thinking them directly from the Venus Project website, which has, I guess, the Venus Project attached to the link. So that way it will direct the channel through the website and then onto Amazon.
Oh yeah, if all the covers are on there, that would be much better.
Okay, so maybe I'm not understanding correctly, but so from what I understand, these links that we're looking at right now on the page are the ones that have the good renderings of the book photographs, right? So if he's accessing this resource for the books, then he should be fine, that he's getting the good renderings of the pictures along with the proper link, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But I also saved the images directly onto the Pinterest page. There's a board there.
Yes, very, very complete, it looks like. So if he doesn't have a good image, then he should just go to the Pinterest for the best possible image.
Right.
Okay. I think he understands that already.
Okay.
I'll make sure he understands that.
Okay.
They ran it under the ground in front of the trough.
Oh, is that SoftPin?
Let me just make sure I know where these links are listed. Where did you say they are? They're here on the social media page.
Under content outline.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's what he's using. So good.
And Bo, I had a question. When people go through the main website to go onto Amazon directly to the recommended books, does the Venus Project, I know some websites get a little something from Amazon, like monetary wise, when going through their website. Does the Venus Project do that?
Yes, yes.
Okay, that's good. So yeah, on Facebook, those links should be used so Venus Project can get some compensation for it.
Right.
On your way. Like I said, I'm right on the next street.
Yeah.
Me too.
Well, I think that's already happening, all of that, but I will confirm it with Shrey.
I know. I was talking to my property manager yesterday, and I'm like, okay, who gets it? Not the same Anthony.
So is that the end of our agenda?
Yeah, and also Lisa, I've been wanting to ask if you wanted to help be a contributor for the Pinterest page.
Oh yeah, sure. I would love to.
Okay, because I know you're always on it. And share.
Yeah, I'm on it. I'm on it now a lot because of the badge postings and stuff.
Okay.
Great, thank you. Yeah, and I do come across on Instagram. I often come across art that supporters do, and I'm not sure where to put it.
Bye.
So very good. Are we
Sorry about that, guys.
complete with our business? I think we're completed with our agenda, Jen.
Oh, yay! All right. Well, then I will see you guys in 2 weeks.
We have some homework.
Sounded good.
We do, but we got a lot done.
Catch up with all the initial move and so on, but I think we're there now. Pretty much. Yeah.
Okay. See you guys in 2 weeks.
Guys, nice to hear ya. Nice to hear y'all.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.